Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bizarre Podcast Dogs Must Die. My name is Grant. You can call him Chip, and we are beginning Part 2, Battle Tendency, in today's episode.
Again, I've already said this like probably 3 times, but this is where JoJo actually starts. I will say this probably 6 more times, honestly.
The final episode. All right, this is where JoJo starts, though.
Yeah.
But it is a start. In many ways, it is a clean break, a fresh start. We are 30 years? No, we are 50 years.
No, yeah, 50.
After we last left our characters. And wouldn't you know it, it's time to meet a whole lot of brand new to us ones.
Mm-hmm. Although the show starts off with a very familiar face.
Yeah, my boy is back. He's got a cane. He's got swagger. Ario Speedwagon has made good. He is a wealthy man.
A fucking oil tycoon.
He's an oil tycoon. He just wandered the American Southwest and sensed the hearts of melted dinosaurs in order to strike oil.
I love that. The really big connective tissue between part 1 and 2 is fucking Speedwagon.
Hell yes.
Out of all people, Speedwagon is like still an important character. So Speedwagon is hanging out in front of a plane waiting to meet up with another character from part 1, Straitso.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
In the time since, Straitso has taken over like the Hamon school because Master Tom
the
Petty,
place of our dear departed Master Tom Petty.
Yeah, Tom Petty has passed away. Straitso is older, but still looking pretty good for how old he is. Talking to Speedwagon is just like, oh yeah, Hamon is like life energy, right? I guess you just age a little better.
Yeah, we get all this sort of where are they now about Straitso's promotion and the Speedwagon fortune from the narrator, who takes a real back seat through the rest of Battle Tendency. He does not talk much.
No, yeah, the narrator kicks back a lot starting in part 2. The narrator is like in the manga too, just as like square panels. So it's like, oh, there are less square panels? All right, I guess there's less narrator. Speedwagon has invited Straitso and some of his other Hamon associates to take a trip with him to some Aztec-like ruins that Speedwagon found, or rather a Speedwagon-funded archaeology/research team found these weird ruins. They go to check it out, and yeah, just like we saw at the very end.
Well, first he doesn't say what they're going to look for. Right. He just says he's invited them to see something.
That's right.
I brought you halfway around the world, for stuff.
They fly to Mexico. They go to check out these ruins, which we saw as a teaser at the very end of the previous episode. That
yes,
the further you go in, the more kind of Giger-esque it looks like.
These same ruins that Zeppeli must have once plumbed the depths.
Yeah. And the whole time they're walking down this massive, really long hallway, Speedwagon is still not telling Straitso and the gang, like, what? It's just like, he just keeps saying, like, bro, when you see this crazy shit at the end of this hallway, like, you're going to feel a chill on the back of your neck or whatever, because this looks like to be even worse than the terror we faced, like, 50 years ago.
And these Hamon students are fucked. Because, like, Straitso is the second most important character in the scene. Like, your days are numbered.
Yeah.
Your minutes are numbered, dude.
But when they reach the end of this hallway, it just ends with this really big chamber with that stone pillar that we saw previously. And there's tons and tons of more stone masks, like, embedded into it. Like, another dozen or so.
We're going to need a lot of sledgehammers.
Oh, yeah. You really think that's like the instant Speedwagon saw even just one of those masks, he would just go run back out, grab a sledgehammer, come back, and just smash the shit out of them before he does anything else. Like, just break all of those, dude. They're not moving targets. In the middle, surrounded by the masks, is
this man?
Is a
embedded into the pillar.
It's a man embedded into the pillar. He looks like
Pillar
he's made of
Man.
stone.
You might
Pillar
say.
Man. Yeah. And yeah, with that, it cuts to New York, 1938 New York.
Hell yeah. We got late depression. War is brewing. Sympathizers with both sides of the war march through the streets. Not in this episode, but in like real New York.
Yeah. Once the camera pans down to the streets of New York,
they pan down to Streets of New York on VHS.
Oh yeah. We get introduced to two new characters here. The first being, okay, here's the first black character in JoJo, and his fucking name is Smokey Brown.
They never say his last name in dialogue. Smokey Brown, huh?
I think they might say it later, but yeah, his name is fucking Smokey Brown.
That's not good. I was hoping for like, oh, it's a Smokey Robinson reference. Okay, we're right? Getting out of dad rock into Motown. Okay. Like, yeah. I get it, but that sucks.
Yeah.
He's a good, I like him, but that's a bad name.
It's a bad name. But yeah, we see Smokey walking around the streets, and he looks over to this really huge dude trying to buy a Coca-Cola, which they rename as Coca-Cola.
Now, this bottle design is historically accurate. The distinct glass Coke bottle shape was about 20 years old at the point this episode is set.
Yeah. And I just want to...
checked.
Nice. I just also want to point out very briefly the character design of the vendor just selling the Coca-Colas for having blonde hair, a brown beard, and a weird fucking hat. What is that hat?
He's clearly a Hamon user. He controls his breath so that he can project his vendor barking to gather everyone around.
Because Hamon can do anything. Maybe he can like dunk his hands in the ice water the Coca-Cola's in and like super chill it somehow. I don't know.
He doesn't pay for refrigeration. He just has something like Dio's super sweat powers in order to chill the Coke.
Hell yeah. Man, Dio could have done a lot of stuff with the super chilling
Dio
powers.
could have invented the Frosty, but he decided to try and take over the world instead, okay? Dio's evil.
Yeah. God, the power you had, Dio, you fool.
But Smokey looks at this hulking, well, not hulking. He's a lot smaller than our previous JoJo. This is the new JoJo, Joseph Joestar.
Yeah, he's still pretty damn big, but...
He's bigger than anyone else in the world. It's just that the world got leaner. You know, he's more lean muscle.
Totally. Yeah, this is, even by part 2, it's a smaller change here, but because JoJo is such a long-running series and Araki's art style has changed so much, if you read the manga, like, you can see the art style change is very gradual. Like, the start of, like, part 3 and the end of part 3, it looks very different. But the animated adaptations basically take what the art style of any part looked like from the end of it, and that's what they make the whole thing look like. So even part 2, even in just the first season of the anime, it already looks a little bit different than part 1 looked. People are still going to be pretty fucking huge and buff, but they're already shrinking just a little bit.
So Smokey looks over at who we will soon learn is Joseph Joestar and thinks to himself, oh, that's the perfect mark. And it turns out marks is just a term for guys with loose grip. Like this, he just runs up and snatches the wallet. It is not the most sophisticated of schemes.
Yeah. Smokey runs off with that wallet. He turns down an alley, happy that he was able to get like so easily snatch this wallet, and he's immediately grabbed by 2 cops, one who has a really fucked up looking face.
He has bulldog face.
Yeah,
he's got bulldog face. He's got jowls on jowls.
Yeah,
he's a bulldog man.
Yeah, these cops know Smokey.
Hey, no Smokey. Take it outside.
And they immediately start beating him up. Like, they fucking club him over the head because it's JoJo and everyone is full of blood. When Smokey gets clubbed over the head, it looks like he fucking died because the amount of blood that immediately splatters all over the ground.
Yeah, our first look at what it is to be America in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is severe police brutality, followed immediately by police corruption.
Yeah, it's
very accurate. Good job.
And gotta be honest, most times, not all times, but most times cops are portrayed in JoJo, they are very bad people.
Yeah. What does America mean? Well, first, Coca-Cola. Second, cops are fucking pigs.
Yeah. The double-jowled faced cop, like, just lifts Smokey up, like, by his head and tells him, like, that anything he steals from now on, he's gonna get a cut of, like, half of it.
Mm-hmm. He's going to get half plus a percentage on top.
Right, yeah.
You could just add those together, but whatever. 50% is half.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So Joseph appears again now, saying like, hey, what the fuck you doing?
He unveils the family trick to say that wallet was a gift.
Yeah.
You cops have no power here.
Yeah, he pulls the George Joestar thing there with his stolen wallet. And these cops, get angry real quick. The really disgusting cop like fucking picks his nose and like sticks his booger on Joseph's face. The cops just keep escalating things.
Yeah. Joseph is sort of powerless to deny the booger because, as we all know, there is no Hamon in boogers.
Yeah.
But he has his own tricks up his sleeve. I like to think, though, that Joseph was raised on stories of his ancestor, Jonathan. So he was actively looking to find his own Speedwagon by looking like an easy mark. I'm going to the big city. I need a street tough to help me out. Best way to find a street tough is to have them do crime on me.
When that first cop is like yelling at Joseph and still picking his nose, Joseph just punches him so hard that his finger goes clean through his nose, through his nostril, which is really gross. And also he loses some teeth, I think. And the second cop, who until now has said fucking nothing, just immediately pulls out his gun, threatening to shoot Joseph.
One of them says, "I do what I like whenever I feel like it, you fool," which I believe is the NYPD motto.
It's true. Like, this second cop with his gun out is saying, like, hey, I'm about to blow your brains out if you make a move. And Joseph just says, hey, I want to see you fucking try it, dude. And as the cop in slow motion is pulling the trigger, Joseph charges up his bottle of Coca-Cola with Hamon and causes the bottle cap to violently erupt and fly out as fast as a bullet. And it snaps the cop's trigger finger clean off his hand.
And like the whole time, like we talk about the cops escalating, but JoJo is escalating along with them through his braggadocio, I guess. And as soon as this encounter is over, he's so upset at himself for letting his temper take over, and Granny Arena is going to tan his hide when she hears about this.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that he hates cops, he loves to brag, and he hates that he loves to brag. It's very good. This is a strong introduction.
Yeah, I love Joseph's intro. I just love that one of his big things throughout this entire thing is just that he doesn't want to make Granny Arena upset for any reason, whether it's through his actions or others. He's just super protective of her.
It's so good. He's such a sweet boy.
Yeah, after that, he saves Smokey, and they just immediately start hanging out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we while there is far less of a narrator, we do get Smokey kind of narrating some things in this episode.
Exactly. He's the new Speedwagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talks for a little bit, narrates a little bit about how Joseph tells him that, like, oh yeah, I have this weird power. I've always been able to do it. My grandpa was able to do it. My dad wasn't, though.
He talks about Hamon like he doesn't really get it or understand where it comes from or how to do much with it, intentionally. which is a hard contrast to the very next episode. So I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
In this sort of expository conversation, we learn about the events over the last 50 years in the Joestar family, which is that this lost generation died in the war. The baby that Irina was carrying and the baby that Irina was carrying.
Yes.
Have both passed away in between then and now. Mm-hmm. And one of them was Joseph's father.
They clarify that it seems that Joseph's father had 0 Hamon abilities, so it kind of just like skipped over.
I'm still curious about the lost Joestar generation. I want to see some like short set in JoJo's World War I.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah, because there's no way World War I was normal in this world, right? Some weird fucking shit must have been happening there.
There's also the implication that magic hero ability skips a generation.
Yeah.
What was George's dad like? What weird shit did he get up to?
Yeah. Although it skipped him, could he have, just like with Jonathan, could somebody have just jumped out of frame and poked him really hard in the tummy in just the right way, and then boom, his Hamon switch was turned on? Like, I don't know. But from there, and that is the actual scene where we actually get Joseph's name.
Yes.
But after that, we jump back to Speedwagon and the research team and the Hamon people with Straitso taking a look at this pillar still. And Speedwagon is describing how like they've been able to monitor this carving of a man in this pillar, and it's alive. It has amino acids even.
So stop talking. Start punching it with sun punching.
Yeah.
Give it the sun punch.
And the statue, the stone carving has a pulse and everything. It's a living dude in that pillar.
Stop
somehow.
talking! Stop talking!
Oh no!
Sledgehammers, sun punches. Come on.
Yeah, he like Speedwagon just keeps talking, telling Straitso like, "Yo, you gotta imagine this guy's probably really fucked up. Whatever he is, we gotta kill him now. That's why I brought you here. You got Hamon. Fucking kill this dude." Straitso's just turns around and goes like, "Oh, so what about Joseph? He's got Hamon ability, right? How's Joseph doing?"
How's he doing? Yeah. He took the same flashback classes as Zeppeli. They went to flashback school together.
Yep. And so with Straitso bringing up Joseph here, we get a flashback of 13 years ago. Or 13? It was when Joseph was 13.
Yes.
An event where Joseph and Speedwagon were on like a private plane, and it somehow got hijacked. I don't know where these guys were hiding.
They were hiding in the pages of the Green Hornet, pulp magazine. They got some like domino masks, black leather. These are pulp ass plane hijackers, and I love them.
I love these dudes. But yeah, in this flashback, Speedwagon's already been like attacked. The pilot is being held at gunpoint. They're pointing a gun at Joseph too, and Joseph doesn't give a fuck because he's reading.
Joseph is reading comic books, and it sort of looks like a JoJo cover. I didn't look too closely.
Yeah, so I mentioned in some previous episode that the manga Araki did before JoJo was called Bao, and that is what Joseph is reading.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That explains the visual similarity of cover design. I see.
And, Joseph just, like, doesn't give a fuck about the situation. He's just telling these hijackers, just like, hey, this ain't my problem. Just let me read my comic book in peace, please. Fuck off.
They don't. And things, once again, escalate.
Oh, yeah. They hit him across the face with the butt of one of their rifles, and it makes Joseph bleed all over his shirt, which makes him incredibly angry because that was gifted to him by Granny Irina. And Speedwagon, in his mind, thinks, oh, that's not good. That was a gift from Irina. That's going to set him off for sure.
And it does. He knocks him out. He Hamons the hell out of these dudes in a manner that also crashes the plane.
Yeah, he Hamons the pilot so that he passes out and the plane goes out of control. Now, granted, the pilot was just their pilot, like, not a bad guy. But yeah, the plane just goes out of control, and while it's just tumbling through the air, Joseph just rips a seat out of the plane. It just says, hey, we're just jumping out of this. No parachute. We're just going to land in the seat and we'll be good. And they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. After Jonathan became like the infallible JoJo, I am very ready for a headstrong, no forethought JoJo.
Oh my god, yeah, this is one of the, like, Joseph is like one of my favorite, and I think still the, like, a lot of the fan base's like favorite JoJos as well, just because this dude is always fucking flying by the seat of his pants. It's
very
great.
good. We will see him shortly, like, have plans and set traps, but it's not like all he does. He's also very, very capable of just dropping in blind.
Yeah. With that flashback over, Speedwagon's going like, yeah, that was the day I learned Joseph had Hamon. And Straitso just keeps asking, like, wants more details about this. Like, hey, is Joseph the only JoJo that knows this? Like, everyone else in his family's dead or whatever? And when Speedwagon confirms that, everyone else but Straitso and Speedwagon fucking die. Straitso just killed them in the blink of an eye.
Never did like that guy.
No.
I'm on record saying how much I do not enjoy that man.
Yeah, he says, like, hey, I just killed all these dudes, and I'm going to kill you too, Speedwagon. With this action, Jonathan Joestar's grandson will know grief and anger. He'll be super pissed off. He'll develop a hatred for me. And then I'm going to kill Joseph. And with that, he fucking kicks Speedwagon so hard in the head that his skull splits open.
He commits the unforgivable act. He kills my boy. He kills my boy.
No.
My sweet geriatric oil plundering boy.
So now with, like, everybody being dead, their blood is all over the place. There's a weird, like, sucking noise in the background. Something is sucking up the blood. And then we immediately see that Speedwagon is not dead yet.
Yet.
He has gotten back up. And Straitso is explaining that he chose to learn Hamon because he wanted to master whatever martial art or thing he could find that could make his body as pure and strong as possible.
And then one day, he saw Dio.
And he saw Dio being hot and powerful, and he realized...
Hell yes, that's what I want. That's the real shit right there.
And he realized that, wait a minute, I'm still fucking aging. Dio isn't. This sucks. So yeah, now that he's seen...
This explains why he did nothing of use in that fight. He's like, I'm so busy with these zombies. Oh no.
But yeah, now that he's seen that there's way more stone masks, he has decided, hey, I'm going to become a vampire now.
Hell yes.
And I'm going to do it way better than Dio. Dio's flaw was that he pushed himself too hard, too fast. I am going to kill Joseph Joestar, the only other Hamon user around that I know of right now, so that there's no one left to kill me, a vampire, and I can have eternity to learn how to become as powerful as possible. And so he just grabs a mask and he turns into a fucking vampire.
If you have Hamon powers and vampire powers, that's a lot of powers.
It's quite a lot of powers.
People gotta watch out for you.
Yeah. And as Straitso is, like, turning into a vampire, we see Speedwagon call out JoJo and read his name, and then, like, he closes his eyes and, like, passes out or dies or whatever.
I'm weeping.
I know, it's fucked up, right?
I throw my tablet across the room. How dare you?
First time I watched this too, and you see, like, Speedwagon die, I was just like, fuck this! He only gets 10 episodes before he's gone? You kidding me?
How dare you disrespect the greatest pride of Champaign, Illinois in such a way?
And with that, we cut back to New York again. And Joseph is accosting a taxi driver because...
a driver who practically shouts, "Hey, I'm driving here."
Yeah. Like, he pulls him out of the window, just picking him up by, like, the collar of his shirt. And this is where we see Irina again.
Yeah, she's a sweet old lady.
Yeah. Asking Joseph, like, hey, what are you doing, young man? And Joseph tries to immediately, like, make up an excuse. It's just like, oh, I was getting you a taxi. In you go. We're going somewhere now.
What a sweet good boy. What a good boy.
And Smokey's still hanging out with them, by the way. Like, he just hops in the taxi, too. Like, he's just an immediate friend of the family now.
Look, when God closes a door on one Speedwagon, he opens a window for another. So Joseph is pestering his dear, beloved grandmother about whether Speedwagon was gay for Grandpa.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
The entire world is populated by JoJo shippers. Ship wars, that's what World War I was about. It was a big ship war.
Oh, hell yeah. Everyone just flying banners of different anime men. Yeah, the instant JoJo suggests that, like, Rina just starts fucking just wailing on him with an umbrella.
And we learned another fact about their family history that I wish wasn't true.
Yeah.
So the adopted child from the ship was a little girl that grew up to be Joseph's mother, which means don't marry your sister, unnamed middle Joestar. Don't do that.
I don't think they actually say that baby was adopted. I mean, I always assume like, oh, they adopt that baby, right? But I think some other family adopted the baby, but still.
That's the only way. The only way this works is if like she sails to America or gets picked up by rescuers in that casket and immediately is like, I can only handle one baby at a time. Please, official channels, find a home for this baby.
Yeah,
she grows up and then through mystic artifice returns.
Yeah.
And they have their romance and bear Joseph together. But that is not what I think happened.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I think Joseph's dad married his sister and it's fucking creepy.
I don't know, man.
Don't do it. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Everybody watch this podcast. You ever had that thought? Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't marry your sister that was rescued from a ship that was exploding due to vampire problems.
I know it happens all the time. We've all been there.
So yeah, with that little thing out there in our thoughts, everyone goes to a restaurant to have a nice meal, and Wario's racist cousin is there.
Yeah, I'm looking at this guy. I'm thinking, this guy is important. He's got a cyber eye.
Yeah, he's got a cyber eye in his head. He's got very spiky, pointy, zigzag hair. He's
wearing eyeshadow. Like, this guy is vital to the plot.
This guy is
He's not.
No, he's a fucking freak. This guy is basically there so that Joseph Joestar can have a and then everybody clapped story.
Stop reading my notes. The three of them are in this restaurant having a fine Italian meal here in New York. And Smokey just wants to eat some damn paschetti, but they won't let him because of racism.
Yep.
This is a whites-only paschetti restaurant.
Mm-hmm. I just can never not look at this guy and think racist Wario.
Yeah. And so, yeah, even eviler Wario is a patron there, but he is enforcing their "we don't serve your kind" policy all the same. And while Granny Arena hates fighting and violence of all kinds, she has an exception for racists. You are allowed to punch them as much as you want.
Yeah, like Joseph immediately gets pissed off and like takes his jacket off or whatever. And yeah, Granny is just like the commander in this fight, just like telling JoJo when to just like sick him or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So evil Wario.
Yeah.
Searches for his brass knuckles and does not find them, and Joseph tells him exactly where, which pocket they're in.
Oh my god!
And then goes down like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle could never.
Yeah.
Every little hint he saw that proves why they're in the back pocket and not in his jacket pocket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and evil Wario is shocked to find out that Joseph is right. My brass knuckles. And not even just brass knuckles, like the brass knuckles with like fucking spikes on them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And like in this tense standoff moment, we get, another bold colors, super zoom, super close up on the eyes. But this is colored with halftone dots. And I immediately am in love.
Oh, yeah. Part 2 likes to do the halftone dots.
Oh, I love it. It's so good.
It looks really cool. Joseph is doing this whole spiel, like telling him where his brass knuckles are. Just keeps getting everything right, and Evil Wario is just like, okay, so what? And he just fucking lays into him, just punching him in the face a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Psych! It was not actually Joseph's face. It was he actually, in the moment Evil Wario was throwing the punch, somehow within reach grabbed a coat rack that has extremely sharp points on it.
Mm-hmm.
And Evil Wario punched his hand clean through the spikes. Fucking got him.
That's what you get for being racist. And yes, the whole restaurant claps for JoJo breaking the color barrier at the restaurant they choose to eat at.
Yeah. Well, the waiter does say, when Evil Wario is complaining earlier, the Wario says, sorry, we'll serve anyone who pays us.
Okay.
So I guess it's not a whites-only place, but the instant everyone is done clapping, another dude that was sitting at the table Evil Wario was eating at, who has really fucked up eyebrows.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on there. He doesn't have eyebrows, but he has huge mounds of flesh. Like, it's not just like he has a big protruding brow. It's just like, it's solid lines. It's like somebody took big gobs of flesh and glued it to where his eyebrows should be. It's disgusting. I hate it.
I think that's exactly what happened.
Maybe.
But yeah, he seems to know some things. He knows people. He's got hands in a lot of pies. He's a mob boss. He is Cyber Wario's boss in the mob because Cyber Wario is in the mob.
Yeah, he gets up because like, oh, you must be, Miss Arena, right? I've done a lot of like business deals with Speedwagon, and some of my associates have delivered news about Speedwagon. He's dead.
Mm-hmm.
He's fucking dead. And this immediately upsets Joseph, and he's, they're not sure if he can trust him. I didn't write this down in my notes. Maybe you did. I think they decide that he must be telling the truth because, hey, he's in the mob. Why would he be lying to us about this?
I think the amazing thing is how Joseph uses his Sherlock powers to deduce, Straitso killed him immediately.
Yeah. Because, he does say that there's he gives the details about where Speedwagon everybody went, saying like, hey, everybody, and also like their bodies were discovered like washed up in a riverbank in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Joseph's just like, God damn it, must be Straitso, right?
Just because he can deduce doesn't mean it's a mystery. He knows.
Oh, okay. No, actually, I just checked. I just scrubbed to the part. The guy does say that that one of the monks was missing. They didn't find his body.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that, sure.
I mean, it's a good clue, but you could still do a little investigation if you wanted.
Yeah. And this mob guy is just saying, man, damn, this whole thing's a mystery. And Arena's just like, oh, I got an idea. There was this guy named Dio. There was some vampire business. I hope this would never come up again, but shit. The mob guy goes to look for like a cigar or a cigarette or something, and JoJo does the thing again of like, aha, I know instantly where it is to do by my power of deduction.
He also keeps predicting what people are going to say next.
Yes, this is a thing. This is a trademark of Joseph, is that, yeah, he's always like, and you're about to say blank next, and then they see it immediately afterwards, and then there's always a reaction shot of them going, oh, you got me!
But it's not particularly impressive when nearly everything he predicts is a cliche.
Yeah.
You're about to say, but that's impossible. Yeah, people say that all the time. You're in an anime.
Yeah.
Like, come on. I could see that one coming.
Yeah. And while Joseph is saying like, okay, I believe this guy's info for reasons, thank you for letting us know, he immediately socks the dude in the gut super hard that he starts coughing up blood.
At a certain point, he's just looking for excuses to punch people in public.
This one's for making Granny Arena upset for telling her such bad news. Anything upsetting to her is worthy of punching men over.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree.
What's funny is now that Arena's much older, she gets so much more screen time in this episode alone.
Yes, she actually does things.
Yeah.
And people care about her thoughts and feelings.
Yeah. But yeah, Arena's upset. She's like shaking and stuff. Joseph goes in to hug her, and while hugging her, she's saying, like, I really didn't want you to ever get involved in this awful history of the Joestars. And he says, if this is my fate, I accept it fully. He's ready to fuck shit up already.
Hell yes.
Especially because he's also very upset about hearing about the death of Speedwagon, because Joseph loves Speedwagon.
Yeah.
Like,
who
everyone.
Doesn't? Everybody loves Speedwagon.
Yeah. But with that, some time passes. It's nighttime. Joseph and Smokey are hanging out in a diner. Joseph is looking through like a magazine and asking Smokey if he thinks these bras that are being advertised really do make boobs bigger.
This was an amazing moment because, okay, I'm watching along. Every time I see something that I want to make a note of, I pause so I don't like miss something while writing, right? Mm-hmm. So as soon as this comes out, I pause to like try to write a joke that, whatever, news in this newspaper that Joseph's about to talk about, he's actually going to look at the bra ads. He's actually looking at the bra ads, though.
Yeah.
How dare you?
He's just like, just hands the magazine over to Smokey. It's just like, bro, do you think that's real, though? A cup to C cup? Are you kidding me?
Why are you asking him about Yabos? He's 12. He doesn't know.
And while Smokey immediately, instead of talking about the Yabos, starts talking about how much he thinks the bras are overpriced. $1.25 a pair is way too much. Joseph looks out. He's facing towards the window of this establishment, and he sees a handsome anime man staring at him from outside.
It's easy to know who's suspicious if a cloud of floating onomatopoeia is around their face. Yeah. That's someone you gotta watch out for. Just rule of thumb.
Yeah. And Joseph like stands up, just goes like, and he's like playing dumb, like, oh, is that guy looks familiar? And he walks outside and goes like, man, you look like a guy I know. Who have I met you before?
Guess what? It's America. Welcome to guns.
Oh man. Yeah, he's just like, oh, weird. It's really cold out, but I don't see your breath. Did I see a vampire fangs just now? Weird. And yeah, so he
just unloads a full Tommy gun into him, and unfortunately, the cafe window.
Yeah, I fucking love this part because it's Straitso has gotten a lot younger because he's a hot vampire now. And yet, Straitso just saying like, oh man, JoJo, I'm going to fuck you up before you can even do a single thing so I can have all of eternity to become master vampire. And while he is saying that, yeah, Joseph just pulls out a fucking Tommy gun, which I don't know where he was hiding it from, which makes it way funnier.
It came from the coat rack dimension, obviously.
Yeah, he just had his hand behind his back and just whoop, there's a fucking Tommy gun. And even Straitso is like caught off guard, just goes like, what the fuck? And yeah. He just starts dumping rounds into Straitso into the restaurant.
Smokey has some valuable questions, like, what the fuck? And what the fuck?
And where did he get that? And I do love that there's a part where he says he's shooting him right out in public. Incredible. Like, while he's also thinking, what in the fuck? He's also thinking, wow, I gotta kind of admire him for doing this.
I mean, you don't see that every day.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. Yeah, he just unloads like hundreds of rounds into Straitso, sends him flying all the way into the back of the restaurant.
But Joseph, as he has a moment to let this betrayal sink in, he sheds tears for a friend turned vampire.
Yeah.
Truly, he is his grandfather's heir.
I think it's also partially for Speedwagon, because he did say this was for Speedwagon. But yeah. And that's the end of episode 10, New York's JoJo.
That's it.
I do think it's funny they call it New York's JoJo when he's actually just visiting right now, I believe. He's not actually from New York, but
he's got an English accent and everything. He's not from New York.
Yeah.
So that brings us to episode 11, The Game Master.
Ooh.
As JoJo starts off by examining his own crime scene and sort of intuiting the science of ballistics.
Yeah. And JoJo also has an interesting way of trying to disperse the crowd, because a lot of people are just hanging outside the restaurant going like, what the fuck? But like, there's some ladies still, and somehow he managed to hurt no one but Straitso. He's just that good.
He's just that good, yeah.
But yeah, there's like two ladies who are just like on the side, just like crying and screaming, just utterly terrified. They can't move. And he goes like, hey,
Stop crying, young women I just fired at.
Yeah, he's just like, hey, yo, you got to calm down and get out of here, or else I'm going to make out with you.
I shall give you tender kisses if you do not compose yourself.
What in the fuck? But yeah, he's already like suspicious that, you know, this isn't going to be able to kill Straitso. Like the bullets he was picking up just have dents in them. Like they got deflected or something, but yeah, Straitso immediately like stands back up. It's gross. He digs his finger into one of his wounds to pull out a bullet. But even before that, we got our new theme song.
Yes, I can't wait to see just how much of it is spoilers. It's generally in the same vein as the first OP. We still have a lot of shots of like CG models with Araki's art wrapped around them doing action bits, but more often they're in silhouette with abstracted, colorful silhouettes. And
lots of just different types of like geometric patterns being overlaid through stuff and then kind of like blending on top of each other to make new patterns and stuff. It looks really cool. There's
a whole lot of people that I don't recognize in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is one of my favorite openings. I just love the visuals of this one, especially when everything's in silhouette. But yeah, after Straitso like digs a bullet out of his leg, he just like figures out like, oh wait, I could just like kind of twist my body and flex really hard and shoot all the bullets out of my body.
Well, he wasn't there for Jack the Ripper. This is new to him.
And JoJo is thinking, so, oh shit, he really is a vampire. I was hoping he was just a dude.
But he unveils that he's already unlocked some of Dio's secret powers as he invites JoJo to look deeply into his Space Ripper Stingy Eyes.
Yeah.
Laser Eyes has an attack name now.
Space Ripper Stingy Eyes. So I generally like the Japanese dub more, but man, Straitso's English dub delivery of "stare into my Space Ripper Stingy Eyes" is really fucking funny to me.
It's a lot.
Also, it's just really gross, like how the vampire laser eyes work because their like corneas rip open to shoot out the lasers.
Oh, it's bad.
It's really
bad
gross
to see.
It's fucking disgusting, man. But yeah, he fires out his laser eyes going like, yo, I'm going to kill you the same way Dio killed Jonathan. Which, for a while, I kept thinking, like, how the fuck does he know that? He wasn't there, but I was just like, all right, Arena survived and probably told everybody, yo, my husband got shot in the neck by vampire laser eyes.
So yeah, Joseph takes one shot to the forehead, one shot to the throat. But he's doing okay, actually.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's surprisingly good.
Joseph does the next thing you'll say is blank thing. Is, yet again does it. And yeah, Joseph fucking tricked him. He's just like telling Straitso, like, man, you've been out like in Tibet, just like out in the mountains for way too long. You forgot that vampires, or rather not vampires, mirrors exist, and that vampires don't cast reflections in them. And then he's just like, here's a little hint, and points at the clock above him, which is, reflected in reverse here. Dumbass just shot at a mirror.
How is that flawless mirror wall still intact after the full drum of a Thompson submachine gun?
I don't know, man. All the bullets went into Straitso and somehow did not hit that mirror.
The place is wrecked, right? Like every piece of furniture, every bit of glassware, but that mirror wall is A-okay, my friend.
Yep. And while Straitso's distracted by the fact that he's a dumbass who shot at a mirror, Joseph just runs in and just clubs him over the head with the rifle and charges Hamon through it to melt his face.
But Straitso is prepared because he has a special scarf woven from the stomach lining of a particular beetle, which dissipates Hamon energy. Obviously, everyone knows this. This is Hamon 101.
Yeah. Well, it's like that just comes out of nowhere. I'm kind of fine with it because it's just like, sure, he knows everything about Hamon. He might have he might know defenses against it or whatever. But...
Yeah, which is why you might expect him to know a Hamon dissipating technique.
Yeah.
Like some sort of anti-breath or something instead of just accessorizing cool. With beetle tummy.
Beetle tummy scarf. But yeah, I love this next part so much because Straitso's talk about like, yo, you can't beat me with Hamon. I know everything about it. I have mastered the craft of this martial art or whatever. And Joseph's just like, okay, cool, that's great. I'm just going to run away. And as he does that, he somehow, with sleight of hand, pins a grenade to his scarf.
Yes.
Oh, man. You say this part. You go ahead.
Okay.
I want to see your reaction to this part.
So Joseph runs away, pulling the string connected to the pin, and so Straitso looks down and sees a grenade has been pinned to me. Oh no. If I were a normal man, this would be bad, but I am not. I'm a Hamon supercharged vampire. One grenade is nothing to me. So he throws the grenade, and then sees that there are 8 strings attached to the grenade. Each pulling the pin on yet another grenade pinned to him. Joseph Joestar is not just fast. He is Barry Allen fast.
Yeah, goddamn. This part makes me laugh every fucking time I see it. Just eight more grenades stuck to his back he didn't notice, since Joseph thought, aha, he's going to slap the first grenade away. I'll just tie the other ones to this one so they all pull the other pins. And yeah, he just...
And there's no way he could slap 8 grenades.
No way, no.
So okay. Joseph has just had a very eventful hospitaliano meal with his new best friend and his grandma. And then he finds out that his mentor and dear family friend has died, and it's probably at the hands of another dear family friend. So he goes for a bit of a late night nosh, and he brings his Tommy gun and a dozen hand grenades.
And by the way, the show never answers where Joseph gets those from, and I'm happier for it. You can think maybe because he knew Speedwagon, who has connections to the mob, he can buy that stuff. I don't give a fuck. It's way better that I don't know where he got those grenades from.
So Straitso blows to hell and back. He's in 1,000 pieces. He's fucked up. There's no way the cafe is insured for this. But of course, vampires have total bodily control.
Yes.
And his parts start reassembling themselves.
Yeah, all of his disgusting little chunks just start crawling towards each other, linking back up. And as Straitso is reconstructing himself here, Smokey's just like, dude, there's no way we can beat this. What in the fuck is happening right now? And Joseph says, I'm going to have to use my ultimate technique here. Take a look at Straitso. Look at his legs. They're all messed up right now, right? My technique has to do with that. And then he just turns around and runs away.
It's so good. It's amazing. Meanwhile, we see that every spunky pre-war lady was an aspiring journalist.
Yes. Yep.
We got this Kitteridge-ass future love interest wandering around the city.
Yeah, I love that, she's just like, oh man, this is such a great scoop. And while she's saying this, we get...
Fucking Newsies the Musical on Broadway. God.
Yeah, while this is happening simultaneously, Straitso leaps up into the air. Now he's like crawling on the side of the outside of this building, like 20 feet up.
The Yu-Gi-Oh! Stat cards return.
Yeah, we learned that Straitso, his grip strength is 235 kilograms per centimeter square.
For Americans, this is about 4,600 PSI.
Yeah.
Or for more current units, 27.5 million Pascal of pressure. I don't know what that means as a benchmark, so I went looking. The only people, the first people I found talking about this sort of PSI were people looking for advice in power washing.
Okay.
Where 4,000 is way too much. You will damage your brick. You could easily take off a finger if you're not careful. Yeah. And that's only 4,000. He has a grip strength of 46,000 PSI.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
He also has a vertical jump of 4.22 meters, which is as high as a classic Volkswagen Beetle is long, for comparison.
Jesus. I think this might be the last appearance of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stat cards in JoJo, by the way. It only happens like twice.
I'm sorry I couldn't get numerical values for pluck and or luck.
Ah, damn it. Yeah, Straitso, also now completely nude, by the way.
Which is very strange. It is strange to see a nude man rather than a chance to indulge the passion for fashion.
Yeah. Straitso leaps off this building and lands behind this reporter lady. He's up to something, but it just, we don't see what. It just cuts to the Verrazano Bridge, I think. I forget which bridge they were on.
Although I am happy that Straitso is nude because now I can immediately recognize, oh, that's Straitso. He's so bland.
Yeah.
Every previous appearance, I have to remind myself, which one? Oh, it's Straitso. Okay.
Oh, it's Straitso. Yeah.
But now, the big naked man. I know which one's Straitso. Now I get it.
Now, if only he were naked throughout the entire series.
Yeah.
That's his battle
just
technique.
His thing. It's very distracting.
Yeah. Joseph and Smokey have run onto this bridge, and Straitso's already there. He's got the reporter lady in his grip. He's got two fingers in his mouth saying, like, yo, I'm going to kill this girl if you don't fight me right now.
And JoJo replies, I don't even know who that woman is, you moron, you absolute fool. Which is the least Jonathan thing ever said.
Yeah.
This ain't your grandpa's JoJo.
Yeah. And Straitso just keeps saying, like, this whole thing is a test of character for Joseph. Like, hey, if you run away right now, I know I'll never need to actually fight and kill you because you're a coward. But if you try to save this lady, I have to end you right now.
Thank you for explaining the rationale between villainous hostage-taking. Very helpful, Straitso. Could you please stop putting your fingers in that lady's mouth, please?
Please stop that.
Please stop it. It's very disturbing. Yeah. I don't like it.
And Joseph just keeps trying to bluff that, like, hey, I don't care what you do with that lady. And Straitso, shows how serious he is by ripping one of her teeth out and throwing it at him.
This incenses Joseph Joestar. He's enraged. He must stand outside of dentist's office screaming at them to stop the barbarity.
This makes Joseph so angry that he grits his teeth and sparks fly off of them.
And his jacket explodes.
I love that. Yeah, his jacket explodes from flexing so hard, but like the cuffs of the sleeves stay on his arms.
I liked that jacket. I'm going to miss that jacket.
Yeah, that jacket doesn't come back, unfortunately. It was a cool design. But yeah, I just love that the cuffs of the jacket stay on and everything else just erupts off of him.
Well, his wrists aren't buff. That's just bone there.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, Joseph leaps onto the side of the bridge here, and Straitso fires off more Space Ripper Stingy Eyes at him.
But the perfect counter is, of course, sassy shot glass stance.
Yeah, he says Straitso is so predictable because he's shooting at the exact same points that he did before. So he just lifts up those shot glasses and the points he predicts the lasers are going, charges them with Hamon, and because of the curved surface inside the shot glass, the lasers hit the inside, curve in the glass, and then shoot straight back out at Straitso and just pierce him straight through the fucking brain. I love it.
Joseph clearly loves Speedwagon because he's acting for vengeance, but when he begins trash talking Straitso, he says, hey, say hi to Speedwagon in hell for me. So he's very realistic about what's going to happen to Speedwagon's eternal soul.
Yeah.
As an oil magnate, he is doomed to eternal perdition.
Yeah. Reflecting the laser back at him wasn't the final blow. Straitso does leap in just to attack him directly, and Joseph just punches him in the face with the Hamon punch. Even just through these first two episodes here, seeing Joseph fighting, the way he fights is way different than the type of fights we got in part one.
Yeah, we have no attack names being shouted, for one.
Yeah, we've got we won't get any like overdrives, if I remember correctly, from Joseph. And a lot of Joseph's fighting has nothing to do with Hamon, actually.
Yeah, I mean, gadgets isn't the word, right? But there's a lot of props, shall we say?
Yeah, I would say Joseph is resourceful, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a good word, resourceful.
While he still has Hamon and uses it to beat up vampires and stuff, like, the vast majority of the way he fights is just tricking dudes in really comedic ways, usually. Like the grenade shit.
And you're never sure how much of a plan he has going in.
Yes. And
like, even in that flashback where Speedwagon just got thrown out of a plane and he's like, kid, wow, you never think things through. And he's like, no, I do all the time. And you have to wonder, like, are you sure, you stupid little child? Or was that pilot, like, in on the hijacking and you knew somehow and this is his punishment? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, this is honestly like the way the fights throughout part 2 go. They are far less frustrating than part 1's because there's a lot less making shit up for Hamon to do and a lot more just like clever tricks and stuff like that. It's a lot more I don't know, it's a lot more satisfying from now on, I think.
So the fight continues. They engage in blows, but Joseph has the upper hand the whole time until Straitso reveals his true plan was just to be a tutorial boss.
Yeah.
He was only here to put over the real villain.
Yeah. He talks about how when he killed everybody, he noticed that the stone pillar was starting to suck up the blood of all the bodies, and he thought that was fucked up, and so he dragged all the bodies outside and threw them down the river, so that would not continue. Yeah, he's just keeps telling Joseph, like, hey, your fate is to learn more about the Pillar Man. He is a far greater danger. This is part of your destiny that you cannot escape. And I believe Straitso also tells him, like, hey, if you want to learn more, you got to go check out the Nazis.
You gotta check out the Nazis.
You gotta check up on the Nazis because they're doing some shit right now. Both historically and also wacky stuff with this Pillar Man thing.
Straitso does something that makes a lot of sense. He unleashes his own Hamon, which, as a vampire, destroys his body.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can just do sun things and kill vampires, and you are a vampire. So yeah, this works out. Okay.
Yeah. And while he's dying, he says, like, man, I love going out like this. I just wanted to be young and hot for another day. I have fulfilled my dream.
Sorry about all those people I ate on the way, I guess.
Yeah.
JoJo beats his chest because he just recently saw King Kong, I guess. He predicted the dialogue on every title card that came up. People were very annoyed. So yeah, now we get a bit of an introduction into the Nazis, that they are very dangerous and that they are industrial and also they are fucked up wizards.
Yep. Get some shots of wizards, or not wizards, but Nazis hanging out in like runic symbols they've drawn on the ground, trying to do some wizard shit.
So we cut back to Mexico, where Nazis have a research facility. Germany and Mexico were not allied in 1938. In fact, they were very upset with one another, as each nation supported opposite sides in the Spanish Civil War. 1938 is also the year Mexico nationalized their oil industry, angering U.S. business interests. Although when Mexico did enter the war, about 6 months after the United States did, it was on the side of the Allies, and they contributed those oil reserves as well as soldiers to the war. The Mexican military participated in the taking of the Philippines, for instance.
Now, what history books won't tell you is that one of the Nazi majors is fucking Guile from Street Fighter.
Really? Because I got a Wesker vibe from him. That, like, okay, sure, the Guile haircut, but that's definitely a Wesker.
Funny thing, it's straight up admitted in like some commentary in like a Street Fighter art book that Guile is based off of this character from JoJo. He is straight up. Actually, he's based off of this character and one other that comes in later in part 3. But yeah,
sure.
Guile's hair is straight up from this guy, Major von Stroheim, who is getting shaved by a woman who accidentally cuts his cheek, and he makes her lick his wounds. Some real freak shit happening here.
It's real freak shit, these Nazis.
Yeah.
I feel like they might be the bad guys.
It's safe to say, I think the Nazis, not so good. By the way, I just got to say, listening to this part in the English dub the first time, oh my fucking God, all the German voices.
Right? There is a point later where, oh my God.
Oh, they're so stupid.
Later at the end of this very episode, it gets wild.
Yeah. Like, it's bad, but at the same time, because of just how fucking crazy the show is, it kind of fits in a way.
They're all so hammy, too. It's perfect.
Oh, God, yeah. The Nazis in JoJo are very hammy.
But not only do we meet a new character, we meet an old character, perhaps 70-year-old character, because guess what? Miracle of miracles. Speedwagon has survived his cranium splitting apart.
Yay!
My sweet boy is back. He's being held by the Nazis in a straitjacket and pumped for mystic information.
Yep. Now we cut back to Joseph back in New York, asking that reporter lady if she's all right. She fucking decks him in the face for calling her a floozy. I
mean, Joseph might be a stalwart anti-racist, but that doesn't mean he's without biases. You know?
Oh yeah.
Social justice is a long road, okay?
That's true. I'm gonna say that probably Joseph's big, maybe not weakness, but biggest character flaw is that he's very horny.
It worked for Solid Snake. You know, what are you going to do?
It's true, yeah. But yeah, they check up on her just to make sure, like, is she okay? Yeah, she's all right.
Yeah, all right, okay.
And Joseph immediately goes like, I got to check up on these Nazis. Can't wait to go to Mexico. And we cut back to the Nazi research facility again. We get, like, this happens a couple times throughout this episode of just, like, Stroheim is just blasting, like, insecticide around to kill some flies. It's not important, but he keeps doing it.
He's fastidious. He wants cleanliness and order, and is trying to impose it on the face of the natural world that cannot be restricted that way. Like it reminds me of the one scene, the one shot that I just absolutely love in Jurassic Park, where the T-Rex steps on the park map in the mud.
Oh,
the entire film's themes are in like one tiny insert shot right there.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I fucking love Jurassic Park, okay, people? You don't understand how much I love Jurassic Park, okay?
Jurassic Park, just mentioning that, I was literally just thinking like yesterday, I have not seen Jurassic Park enough times in my life.
So good. It's the best movie ever made in color, okay? Jurassic Park and Casablanca. There's my two. Okay.
Good choices. But Stroheim, waking up Speedwagon here, they wheeled him into this room, presses a button to open these giant shutters covering the windows into this examination room. He's just like, yo, Speedwagon, you're going to tell me about this Pillar Man. And surprise, they've completely excavated that Pillar Man from the ruins and have brought it into this research facility, which they've like suspended in midair.
In this huge chamber that they are so proud of how impenetrable it is.
Yes.
That'll be important later. But yeah, he's monologuing as evil Nazis tend to do in media. And one thing he says to Speedwagon is an old quote, an aphorism from the old country. The village in which the elderly kill each other is not long for this world. What does that mean?
What in the fuck? Yeah.
Was that a problem back in Europe? Were they having retiree Hunger Games?
No.
What are you saying?
Yeah, I should have checked, but when he said that, I was just like, is that a real saying? What?
How could it be?
Like, it's so strange, but there is something about it just like, that sounds like it could maybe be real, but fucking what? But anyways, they wheel out a truth serum to inject Speedwagon with.
A big, scary syringe wheeled out on a medical cart with nothing else on it.
Yep.
Von Stroheim demands flashbacks? Exposition? Folksy English interjections. Gives them to me.
Meanwhile, Speedwagon was saying out loud to himself, God, why couldn't you have just let me die? He hates being here. I mean, fair. Whenever, like, Speedwagon starts talking about something, like, Stroheim immediately gets bored and has to, like, start gurgling mouthwash and shit if he's not spraying flies down.
He's antiseptic, Stroheim.
Yeah. Stroheim decides, hey, we need to do some experiments here. They have a bunch of Mexican people that they have imprisoned, telling them, like, hey, you have to decide who to sacrifice, and then I'll let the rest of you go. One child volunteers to be the sacrifice, and so, of course, being an evil Nazi, goes, okay, cool, let's kill the rest of them.
And this is a cartoon accent off, because this kid is edging towards Speedy Gonzales, I have to say.
Yeah.
Like, this is some real Looney Tunes national accents.
Yeah. Did the voice director for the English dub go like, okay, this show is fucking nuts. You just go crazy with the accents. Or
that has to be it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, in that position, I might have made the same call.
Yeah.
What, you want, like, naturalist realism now? Now? There's something called a pillar man, and that makes sense somehow.
Meanwhile, Joestar is already in Mexico, and he's doing fucking sick jumps on his motorcycle while trying to find the Nazis. And while trying to find the Nazis, a fucking weird Nazi in a cloak is hopping from cactus to cactus, licking his knife.
Could people please stop putting sharp things on tongues? Please stop it. Please stop that. I don't like von Stroheim. I don't like how he treated the lady shaving him.
Oh no, von Stroheim's a very bad man.
He's a very bad man.
Yeah. And we cut back to him saying, like, hey, begin the blood experiment, and they just start giving the pillar blood.
There's a little splash of blood to be continued.
Yeah.
In Chapter 12, The Pillar Man.
Oh no!
Joseph is wandering the desert. He keeps getting the sense he's being watched. He's about to realize he's in a TV show.
Whoa.
This is reminding me of the Coyote Gospel from Grant Morrison's Animal Man. Like, I would love if we went in that direction. But no, he's just being spied on by an incredibly stealthy Nazi assassin.
Yeah, there's a cloak, that guy's cloak from the end of the previous episode is just floating in the wind. And when Joseph grabs it and just tosses it, somehow the Nazi appears behind it in midair. And leaps out to stab at JoJo with his weird knife.
And stands upon a cactus.
This guy's face is fucked up. What is happening?
He looks like he hasn't slept in, well, the last 50 years, actually.
Yeah, it's not just bags. He's got bags on bags that also extend to where, like, his crow's feet would be. Like, it's disgusting. And also, some of the bags, not all of them, are a deep red color, and that extends up the side of his temples. I don't know what's happening to him, but he's fucking gross, and I hate him.
He's some sort of Batman. Not Batman, but a Batman.
Yeah.
Not a vampire either, but
no,
a different
not a
kind of Batman.
So this is SS Commander Donovan.
And he is impressed that Joseph could find him because he was using all of his stealth techniques, and not even wild bats could detect him.
Yeah.
That well-known benchmark for stealth penetration, the skill of wild bats.
Oh, God.
Bats in captivity, they are not properly calibrated.
Joseph picks up that cloak from earlier and tosses it at Donovan while he is leaping towards him, and then goes to like punch him. But Donovan has loaded the cloak with cactus needles, so when he punches the cloak, oops, just fistful of cactus needles.
Jonathan identifies that Donovan is is a German, and the army he speaks about is the Nazi army. By sight, sound, and he says smell.
Yeah.
Does he smell like sauerkraut? What do Nazis smell like, Joseph?
Evil. The stench of evil. Donovan has like knocked Joseph down to the ground with his boot on his head. But Joseph says, aha, this is where I've wanted to be all along. because he has been sending Hamon through his head into the ground, which is then traveling up the cactus that is right next to him.
And then Donovan says something I never knew I wanted to hear a Nazi say so badly. What's up with this cactus?
And he says it's not just because the cactus is like shaking a little bit or something. It is actively swelling right in front of him to the point where it's like you should no longer be saying, what's up with this cactus? And you should be running away from it.
At least get that cloak in the way.
Yeah. But the cactus has been overloaded with Hamon. It explodes. It sends tons of needles into Donovan's face. And he is super owned now.
And Joseph must explain that this is possible because cactus is like 80% water.
Yeah.
Which is true. Yeah, cactus are big juicy things, which is why you can't jump on them. But if water content is what makes something explosive via Hamon, we could be in for some very disturbing body horror in the future. There's potential. There's bad potential.
Yeah, you really could go nasty places with that, really. But yeah, he gets the info about where this Nazi research base is from Donovan, ties him up to the cactus upside down, leaves him to die basically in this desert. Also, Donovan, like, in some scenes, but not all, he has a really nasty-looking tongue just hanging out of his mouth all the time.
Yes.
I don't like it.
It's one of the worst things about him. I have to say the absolute worst thing is that he's a Nazi.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nazis, we're back with von Stroheim, who's ready to execute prisoners for occult experiments, but squeamish about blood. He insists that the technicians don't tell him how they got the blood out.
Yeah.
I just love how insulated the powerful are, even from themselves.
Yes.
I want to take the blood out, but ew, blood, no.
Ew. I'll close my eyes. I'll turn around. And, like, while, still talking about the blood experiments, he's still, like, gurgling mouthwash again. God. So they've wheeled Speedwagon out here in a wheelchair, still, like, bound to it, like, in a straitjacket, just so he can see the blood experiments.
He's their expert in vampire business. He found the Pillar Man.
Yeah. And Speedwagon is just, like, fucking shaking. He is utterly terrified of what the Pillar Man could do, telling them, like, this blood experiment is very dumb. Don't do this. Stroheim it's cool. The iron walls here are 20 inches thick. We got flamethrowers. We got guns. We got bombs and everything.
It's soundproof. It's everything proof.
Yeah.
I mean, Stroheim thinks Speedwagon is an utter fool to be afraid of this primitive creature.
Yeah.
And creature there is, because the man pops out of the pillar. He's the pillar-free man.
Yeah. Now, while just 2 episodes in the same podcast, I said, now this is where JoJo starts. Now this is where JoJo starts. Because this episode is fucked up. There's some messed up stuff in this episode.
It's true. It's true. The man pops out, and von Stroheim's like, well, we can't just call him Pillar Man now. He's out of the pillar. Never once considering he might already have a name. Yeah.
He names him Sant Viento. After the Mexican winds or whatever. His original name, of course, was Santana.
After the guitarist.
After the guitarist.
Yeah, obviously.
But yeah, they had to rename Sant Viento.
I love that there is sort of like a pencil sketch filter on Sant Viento.
Yeah.
And that it is a different one with every particular frame. It's constantly shifting anytime he moves.
Yeah, this is a new addition to the art style of part 2. They do this like pencil sketch overlay.
It reminds me of the way King Kong's fur would ripple. I accidentally am talking about King Kong twice in one episode. Just because of the thumbprints left by the animators as they moved the stop motion puppet.
Yeah.
And it brought the fur to life accidentally. It's a good effect. It's cool. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, Santana here is just like acting like a caveman because they turn sprinklers on to wash all the blood away. So he's like trying to get up off the ground. He's slipping on it, falling down. He's getting up and he's just like scratching his head a bunch. And Stroheim finds this extremely funny. He's just laughing his ass off because it's just like, oh man, the Pillar Man just sucks. He's just a stupid caveman. Whatever.
Yeah. Like for all the power and all the fear that they expect to have from this, as soon as von Stroheim can plug him into like the Nazi ideology of hierarchical race science, he becomes just a putrid little low beast. Nothing to fear from we ascended Aryans.
Yeah, and I do love that the instant he's done laughing about that, he says like, he just seems like just like a lowly caveman, like subhuman. Let's assume he made the masks that turn people into vampires. Anyways, next experiment. And they open up a side door where they have loaded in one of the prisoners from the previous episode that they put the mask on, who is now a super buff vampire that can't stop voguing and has cute little red spirals on his cheeks.
So the vampire goes in and immediately, having been starved of human blood, tries to eat the Pillar Man, the ex-Pillar Man.
Yeah. He goes in to bite like the shoulder of the Pillar Man, and it looks like he bites him for a second, but what actually happens is his lower jaw no clips into Santana's body. Then like his arms have no clipped through him. They just pass through him, but they're like stuck inside the body of Santana now. He tries to pull back and his lower jaw is just gone now.
Ancient as he is, Santana is really more modern English because he will stop the world and melt with you.
And that is what he does to this vampire. The vampire, any part that passed through Santana's body is just gone now. It's just in Santana's body. And Santana just very easily like tears this dude in half and just like grabs the parts of the vampire and just like sucks them into his body and absorbs them. And it's super nasty.
See, the problem with vampires, what they really could improve on is that they don't eat the bones. If you eat the bones, you're far stronger.
Yeah. There's a really hilarious like shot here of Santana like absorbing all the parts of the vampire where he's like doing a big Vogue like sexy flex, but he's got like a foot and a leg sticking out of his chest. Oh, it's gross. But yeah, he absorbs the entire vampire into his own body, and now he's buffer. He's bigger, he's stronger from absorbing that vampire. And now Stroheim is actually spooked, and Speedwagon asks, what level of thought is he capable of?
So we cut outside, and Joseph has found this compound on the assassin's directions. And we see that the compound is guarded by some Nazis who have very strong parallels to the American police officers 2 episodes previous.
Yeah, they're drawn in a very similar way.
Hideous men who just abuse their authority. They are just shaking down the women who have come to sell and deliver things in the compound. And not just shaking them down, but sexually assaulting them. It's very bad.
It's very bad.
Nazis, they're bad.
They're bad, man. But Joseph, seeing what's happening here, has a Bugs Bunny-ass idea to dress up as a lady and go like, hey, can I come in?
We get our men in a dress joke, and it's not great.
No.
It's quick. I guess it could be worse, but it's not great. Especially because this is the biggest Joseph has ever been drawn.
Yeah, he is huge for this part.
His muscles have swollen to grandpa's size, and he seems to be wearing 18-inch heels. He is towering over these Nazi guards. Yeah,
this part is dumb as hell.
It's dumb.
He takes out the Nazis because he's just like, oh, can I come in? He's carrying like 2 wine bottles. And he just does like the Coca-Cola trick of charging up the wine bottles so the corks fire out.
We call that foreshadowing.
Yeah, totally.
And also continually underlining the parallel between the NYPD and fucking Nazis.
Yes, actually.
The show owns.
He doesn't fire the corks at them, but rather at coconuts on the tree above them that then fall on their head and knock them out, and then he kicks them in the face.
It is indeed a Bugs Bunny-esque plan, yes.
So this is where I want to say this. because my girlfriend Voidberger watches JoJo too. She loves it. Joseph is her favorite JoJo because she has described Joseph as being anime Bugs Bunny, because especially further on in the show, he just does like wacky fucking like Looney Tunes shit to like catch people off guard, including the stupid dressing as a lady thing, and dropping coconuts on their heads. But yeah, it's like the only thing he doesn't do, I think, is like the whole like Albuquerque gag. I think that's the only thing he doesn't do, basically.
Is it Hamon season or vampire season?
Yeah, now Joseph has made it in. He's dragged the two Nazi guards off to the side. He's stolen one of their outfits that he remarks he can barely fit in. Because he had to lose 80 pounds of muscle mass in order to get into it after how he's drawn in that dress. Yeah.
So we're back inside. They are starting to. Stroheim is beginning to realize just how powerful this thing is that he's holding, especially because it's not there.
Yeah. Oh, and also before the whole stupid Joseph cross-dressing thing, right at the very end of the previous research facility scene, we see Santana actually say Stroheim's name out of nowhere.
Yes.
He's suddenly learned his name somehow, despite being in a soundproof chamber.
Which is pretty freaky.
Yeah.
Stroheim's freaking out. Okay.
Yeah, now he's just gone. Santana's just gone.
So Stroheim brings out the security footage.
Yeah.
Which is on,
footage.
a fucking reel-to-reel recorder. I don't know how they've edited together the multiple camera angles shown.
Yeah.
They've got a Nazi in a dark room with the like little razor blade and stitching together shots. But Stroheim's plan in order to fish Santana out is to pump in knockout gas. A plan that relies on this creature needing to breathe, which is no guarantee, I have to say.
Yeah. They review this footage to see like where Santana went, what he did. He runs towards a wall and leaps up at an air vent. And while in midair, starts contorting his body in impossible ways. You're hearing his bones twist and snap. And he basically does like a Tooms thing from the X-Files. Remember that guy? And you just see a shot of him contorting his bottle in disgusting, impossible ways and squeezing himself into a 2-inch tall vent duct and just slithering through it.
And now we know that the true ultimate life form is cat.
Yeah.
Santaviento, it manages to slide in this tiny gap and crawl through it because he is so smooth, featuring Rob Thomas, and he could be anywhere by now.
Yeah. All the Nazis are just freaking the fuck out. Stroheim looks over at an air vent that leads directly into the room they are in that is connected to the same vents.
We also breathe the air in the vents.
Oh man. No. And there's one other Nazi like standing pretty close to it, and Stroheim goes like, "Hey, get away from there."
The Nazi does the opposite.
He hears a weird sound coming from the vent, so yeah, he turns around, puts his face directly next to the vent, and Santana erupts from the vent and burrows into the man's eye sockets and completely... he does a Jack the Ripper, but instead of the horse, it's the man's body.
And something I appreciate is that scratch filter effect goes on to the man he is piloting.
Yeah.
It is transferred.
Yeah. And the Nazi is walking around with just a giant hole where his eyes used to be.
It's not good.
It's pretty fucked up. And he's just going like, "Hey, I can't see anything. Where do you guys go? Can you all help me? I'm scared. Don't abandon me." And then he swells up and becomes a gigantic fat man due to the control of Santana being inside his body.
I mean, there's two guys in that guy.
There's two guys.
How's he going to fit in the clothes for one guy when he's two guys?
Yeah.
So they open fire. Oh, obviously. Yeah. You would.
Yeah, they load this dude up with bullets. He falls to the ground. He's bleeding everywhere. He gets right back up and just points at the Nazis. And Stroheim's just like, "Oh, look, he's not actually intelligent. He's just mimicking me pointing at him, ordering you guys to fire. You know, it's great. He's actually stupid. It's fine."
But he brings new meaning to the term finger guns as the bullets are expelled from his fingertips, which shred open, just like loose skin. Ugh.
It's so gross. This episode is super
so
gross.
Fucking gross.
Yeah. Also, while he's doing that, like this fucked up Nazi that's possessed by Santana, his lower jaw just slides off of his face very slowly. It makes like a wet plop on the floor too. God. Yeah, he fired a bullet from his fingers, killed some Nazis.
Now, I understand that Santana is dangerous.
Yeah.
I understand that he has or shortly will threaten some heroes we hold dear. Mm-hmm. But so far, we've only seen him kill a vampire and a bunch of Nazis. Yeah. He could be a good guy. He could be an anti-hero, you know?
Who knows? Maybe the Pillar Man is good.
Yeah.
Around this point, we notice that one of the Nazi soldiers is very obviously Joseph Joestar.
Yeah, the Nazis were too busy to notice the non-regulation haircut.
Yeah. As Santana erupts from the Nazi's body that just splits in half to reveal the buff caveman dude. Mm-hmm. Joseph runs over to Stroheim and rips a bunch of his hair out and charges up with Hamon. And as he does this, the opening guitar riff to Owner of a Lonely Heart plays.
It's a choice. It's a good choice. Yeah. But the way Joseph talks about this, like, it's clear he's used the, quote, Hamon hair attack before.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious what that event was.
Yeah.
I choose to believe he was defending a bunch of helpless mine widows from Pinkerton goons.
Oh my God. Imagine what Pinkertons would look like in the world of JoJo. That would own.
They would look like bulldogs and pigs.
Yeah, yeah.
Joseph is the Antifa JoJo. We all know this.
So yeah, the Hamon hair attack is rather a defensive move where he charges every strand of hair with Hamon and scatters it into the wind to create a big like electromagnetic barrier of Hamon, which he uses to block all of the bullets Santana is firing from his fingers. You know, and Speedwagon is so happy that Joseph is here.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't want to be like, he's surrounded by Nazis, a pillar man, he's in a straitjacket, and his pinky poke didn't work. The man is defenseless in so many ways.
And yeah, we end the episode with Joseph starting to take off the Nazi clothes. You know, just saying a one-liner like, aha, I'm here now. This is a crazy party. I just want to point out in this final shot, you can see kind of on where his neck meets his shoulders, he has a giant birthmark in the shape of a star.
I love that he used the world's dumbest plan to break into a secret Nazi stronghold that is secret even from the government of Mexico. They would not allow this in 1938. This is some like deep cover black ops shit.
Yeah.
In order to just swagger in and challenge the ultimate life form of historical legend.
Yeah.
Joseph, you beautiful ass.
And yeah, that's the end of episode 12. What do you think of part 2 so far?
Part two feels so much more confident.
Yes.
Like it immediately feels like, okay, we're going to wipe the slate clean. Part 1 was, we're going to call it a rehearsal. Mm-hmm. It still counts, but we're going to run with this, and this, and here's the direction we're going to go. And just, it hits the ground running so effectively. I love it. Frankly, I love the treatment of Nazis because in so much look at Indiana Jones Nazis, they're bad. Well, because just look at them, they are bad. But in part 2 so far, we're seeing just gross abuses of power. Mm-hmm. We're seeing a contrast between their mythologizing and the reality of who these rank and file Nazis are. We're seeing the way their ideology drives them to. In reality, the Nazis never awoke primal forces that destroyed them. But it sure happens in JoJo and Hellboy and so many other things.
Totally.
But leaves them completely incapable of recognizing their hubris, as well as just being monstrous racists, even outside of this supernatural, hang-on effects of their ideology.
I'm curious. So the next 3 episodes we watch for the next episode of this podcast, it's been a while since I've watched part 2, like several years, but I remember while this part does really good with that portrayal of the Nazis, it does do one thing that I really did not like, and I'm curious if I'm misremembering it.
Okay.
So
we'll get there.
If it happens the way you remembered it, you will definitely have it in your notes. But I'm very curious, one, to see that part again and your reaction to it. But I really like that aspect of this part of JoJo of part 2. I just like the way the fights have changed too. They're a lot less frustrating because they're making up far less bullshit. What they are kind of making up for Hamon is, like, at this point you're just like, okay. But even then it's a lot less bullshit compared to part 1. And you're not going to get any of the stuff from, like, the Tarukas fight where it's like, oh no, I punched my Hamon through the chain, but it hit the ceiling and now it can't hit him when I was able to punch through a wall with Hamon before. You know, you don't get that stuff.
The one thing that really bothered me, or bothered me most with Hamon in this set of episodes, in the dawn of battle tendency, is how JoJo starts talking about it as this mystical power he had since birth that he doesn't quite understand. And then the Hamon hair attack, which I've used at least once before in my life. And how did we get from A to B?
Yeah, it would be one thing if it was more established as just like he doesn't really know the origins or what Hamon is about, but he just happens to have a very good natural talent for it. And he doesn't even really know he's using it all the time. He's just good at it.
I just feel like that's fuzzier than it could be.
Yeah, it is.
But the instances of actually using it have all been very entertaining and consistent enough. Like, yeah, that's what Hamon does. Water. There's a lot of water in Coke. There's a lot of water in cactus.
Yeah, and
yeah.
Other things of just like, okay, like he uses the hair, but that's like part of a living being, and because Hamon is so commonly depicted as being like electricity, it makes sense that like when you put Hamon into it, the hairs get straight. Like all that stuff is like, it's good enough. Part 2 is the part of JoJo until I'd say part 5 that leans the hardest into body horror.
You don't say.
Yeah, Santana the Pillar Man is a fucking nightmare. And it just gets crazier from here too. Like it just gets grosser and weirder and crazier. But all the shit that Pillar Man can do leads to some like super great fights later on. I was really excited for you to see this set because I was very curious to see how you would like Joseph, and I'm glad you like him.
I like Joseph a lot. Joseph hates cops. Joseph hates Nazis. I like Joseph.
Yeah.
Joseph has a temper but he cares for his sweet grandmama.
Yeah. And he's also just super fun because he's such a big contrast to Jonathan.
Yes.
Like, both just from attitude and the way he fights, down to the fact that, like, in his very first fight in part 2, he defeats an enemy that is constantly using the technique that killed the shit out of Jonathan. You know? Like, he pretty handily defeats Straitso with the laser eyes with, like, a clever trick that I don't think Jonathan would have ever thought of.
Well, Jonathan was teetotal. He couldn't conceive of shot glasses. He's never seen one before.
Yeah.
He had his first glass of wine on his honeymoon and then died.
God damn. And also how much of Joseph's fighting doesn't even rely on the Hamon that much. He would rather just glue grenades to people.
That's fast. That's really fast, that boy.
It's super fast.
He got to Mexico apparently overnight. Like, he just ran until he found a motorcycle.
Yeah, once he got that motorcycle, he just fucking floored it, I think. And never ran out of gasoline. Maybe he can use Hamon to make the gasoline last longer. I don't know. Maybe it makes the motorcycle go faster.
There's a lot of water in gasoline. People don't know this.
Yeah. But yeah, these next 3 episodes, some good shit in them. 1 or 2 weird things I'm not sure I like, but very excited to see your reaction to the Pillar Man.
I'm expecting some weird things.
Oh, yeah.
With that's another episode behind us. Next week, we will be back with episodes 13 through 15, the further adventures of our new JoJo in battle tendency, deep underground in the Mexican desert, surrounded by Nazis and or monsters.
I love it.
Bye, everybody.
Right, see you later, everybody.
Something. I thought of something like 3 days ago while I was walking the dog, which is when the only time I have ideas is walking the dog. Mm-hmm. Some people get shower ideas. I get just walking the neighborhood ideas.
Okay, sure.
Maybe I should shower more often. I might get more ideas.